We don't say we want to fund X. We're very much turn it on its head and say, what will be most helpful for you? I'm Carla Marshall, and I'm the Trust Manager at the Sir George Martin Trust. And we're 70 years this year. We were formed in 1956, and we give out small grants to charities across West Yorkshire. We're a generalist funder, and we're giving out around 90 grants a year. And that could be for babies, it could be for people with disabilities, it could be for older people. I read their expression of interest before I arrive, and then basically just a very relaxed chat. We're really flexible, and whenever I visit and talk to people, I'm always saying what would be most helpful. We decide to focus on small grants because we can help more people. We stand a strong chance of getting a grant. We really pride ourselves on having a sort of 50% success rate from all the people who contact us. When the Open and Trusting initiative first came about, I remember saying, oh, well, obviously we've got to do that because it sounds very much like how we are. My father-in-law, who ran the trust for 20 years in the 90s and 80s, he always met with the applicants and he always was trying to help them in other ways. So actually, when Open and Trusting came about, it just put a name on what we were already doing. I think Open and Trusting made me think more about the full grant making cycle and making sure that we're transparent, we're communicating throughout the whole cycle and not just at the beginning. I find that ourselves and many other funders, we maybe focus so much on the front end. You know, if we do visits, we're talking, it might be at the beginning. Maybe we're not spending as much time on evaluation and talking to grant holders at the end. And also, I particularly love the peer support. Every 2 years, we do a session where frontline charities and another funder who works similarly to you, you're in a small group and you're just learning from each other. I really love that because it's great to hear both views. No one's perfect. So it's just constantly improving and making sure that you're open and trusting across the whole grant making cycle. Being a grant maker, a lot of times people will say, oh, it must be so hard deciding, who to give the money to. It is a difficult job, but actually sometimes we make it more difficult for ourselves. Another piece of IVAR's work recently, I know, was saying no to people at an early stage. All the hours charities are putting into applying, and there's so many getting rejected. I do think funders just need to work harder at making sure more people are successful. So I think our job is difficult, but it's nowhere near as difficult as being a frontline charity. And we need to be always thinking about ways to make lives easier for frontline charities. So because of my work with Yorkshire Funders, which is a networking and learning organisation in Yorkshire, I'm always looking at initiatives that we could either start or that I could be involved with, and then add that into the Sir George Martin Trust work. There were 10 of us, a group of trusts and funders who came together on a Yorkshire Funders task force. And we just thought, how can we save applicants time and energy? They're so exhausted all the time. And so the common application form was created, and the Sir George Martin Trust was one of the first adopters. And the idea is that the more of us that use this common application form, the more we'll be saving people time and energy. And then I also was involved last year in 2025 with creating the common reports form. And again, that's trying to save grant holders time and energy at the end. I just think every week meeting and talking to frontline charities out there is so inspiring to see what amazing work they're doing. And I think they're so resilient. I mean, especially the last couple of years with the cost of living, they just meet so many amazing people. And it's so positive with all the negativity in the world at the moment. I'm so lucky because I just see all the great people that are out there and the amazing things that are happening across West Yorkshire helping people.